Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it goes. Free your mind.
You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. This is not DizzieMac. This is Ronnie B, and I'm here with the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith. And DizzieMac got held up at Customs with the Bearskin rug. Somebody said that he had an unauthorized rug. Now, unauthorized rug. I don't think, remember, no bears are damaged or harmed in the making of the rugs. When they move on, they donate their fur to be included in his collection. So we wanted to get that straight. So but we do have the legal eagles out to the free DizzieMac, and the Shimmy Shake girls. Of course, they're with their signs protesting. And First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right out into the future. The little birdie known as Rajon Rondo wishes he could fly far, far away from Dallas, Texas, the Mavericks, Rick Carlisle, and straight into the arms of Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. This deal was supposed to help the Mavs and put them in a strong playoff contention. Everyone has conceded this will rank as an all-time bust of a deal. Chris Washburn, Darker Milicic, LaRue Martin, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Everyone really thought this was a great move, Ronnie B, for the Mavs, but it turned out to be one of the worst trades in NBA history, and particularly because they had to give up point guard Jameer Nelson, defensive wing Jay Crowder, who is balling for the Celtics, backup center Brendan Wright, and a 2015 first-round pick, this year's pick, and a 2016 second-round pick. I mean, the Mavs gave up the current and the future players for Rajon Rondo. And, I mean, his game has just been deteriorating since his ACL injury. He's an old-school point guard that needs the ball. And normally he flourishes in an offense that has a lot of fast breaks. And that's usually how Dallas plays. But for some reason, Rajon is not really performing well in Dallas. First of all, he's not a great jumper, jump shooting guard. And in this particular offense, you really need to be a spot set-up jump shooter. And this is the reason why Rondo is not doing well. And unfortunately with him, when things get bad, Rondo's personality is not endearing, and this is why he is having conflict with Carlisle. I don't know. Everybody believes Rondo will definitely not be wearing a Mavericks uniform. As a matter of fact, Carlisle, he said it. He plainly said when the reporter asked him, will he see Rondo in the uniform next year, Carlisle said, no, I don't. This is a message for the Lakers. They really shouldn't take Rondo, but we already know the Lakers are so desperate that they will definitely take Rondo. And guess what? Because Rondo is in a situation where his stock has plummeted faster than the 1929 stock market crash. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't know if Kobe wants a player that quits on the team, and that's what Rondo did. So, Ronnie B., I think the Lakers are going to take Rajon Rondo because they have no choice. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm going, I know for some reason Kobe likes Rajon Rondo. There's been a lot of talk that that's the team he's going to go to, but I'm like, Lakers, be wary, be wary. As they say, bite me once, shame on you. Bite me twice, shame on me. And he couldn't get along up in Beantown.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get along up there, and couldn't get along up in Dallas. The Lakers are not going to have a drastic improvement next year, no matter what they do. That ain't happening. And just because he's paired with Kobe Bryant, and really this is where I'm looking at Kobe. Kobe is not the kind of guy who's like, let me kick back and not get on your butt. Kobe wants to win. And he wants to win now. So I get at the Kobe that, Kobe can be very demanding of his own team, even if they lack talent. And I don't get that that's going to be a setup where they're going to get all cozy and it's going to be like LeBron coming to the Heat. No. You're talking about Rajon Rondo, who, as you stated, since the injury has not quite been the same. And then the other part is the West, you got to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
In the East, you might be able to get away with that, but in the West, you got to shoot. And to me, that looks like a bad move for the Lakers. And you may be correct that because his stock has dropped, that means they won't have to pay him a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Now, given that they can say, well, hey, look, you got to have to prove yourself because nobody's going to pick up nobody's going to pick you up for any kind of big money. That just ain't happening. If he had, you have to almost look at it as when players are in that final year and they want to excel so that they can get that big contract. Well, he flat out failed.
You're right about that. He did the opposite.
Failed. I don't get that. I don't really remember a coach being asked if a player was going to be on the team, and them, without any hesitation, he didn't even take a breath. No, I was like, whoa. He did not he did not pause. He did not hesitate. It was like, okay, no, on to the next question. Now that's I don't remember. Usually they try to be a little diplomatic, even if they know they're getting rid of the ball. Nope. He's gone.
No, I don't. That's just clearly as succinct as he said it.
Yeah, it was like, well, the reporters didn't even ask another question on that. They moved right on. Because what could they ask? Well, no. He said no. He didn't say, he didn't have, well, no. And so I'm saying, Lakers, you really have to beware. And my other question is that, are the Rockets that good, or the Mavs just outman at this moment?
No, they're outman, but the Rockets are really good. Josh Smith is playing really well, the best you've ever seen Josh Smith play before. So he's accepted the role as they're coming off the bench, and that really has solidified their offense and solidified their defense. He was always a defensive player. So that was one of the issues with the Rockets. They really didn't play defense. And they've been able to stop the Mavs. Dirk didn't have a great game. I think it was in game 2, the game that Rondo didn't play long. But the last game, it was a high-scoring game. No, actually, nobody really played any defense in that game. That was an old-time basketball game from the 80s. But I just think Rondo, he's going to have to humble himself, and he needs to change. He needs to have a personality change. It's just that he really does not get along with people. He's very mean, temperamental, and it's costing him. Teams will not put up with that. And as you indicated, Kobe Bryant is very demanding. So I could just see, Rondo with Kobe, when Kobe's telling him, look, you got to play a little bit harder, you got to do this. And you can imagine how Rondo would respond. So he quit on his team. And I know Kobe does not like quitters. So it'll be very interesting to see how if the Lakers indeed try to go after Rajon Rondo. Because at one point I thought he wanted to play with the Knicks. But I even think the Knicks will turn their back on Rondo.
No. Phil Jackson ain't having it. It's like Phil is going, oh, no, I have seen what you... Phil is not a glutton for punishment. So your Knicks are spared.
Yeah, but when you think about Phil has dealt with different personalities. So Rondo needs to go to a organization where either the coach or the GM can deal with somebody with that personality. Like Riley. Riley can take on people. Pat Riley can take on people that have had problems at previous teams. And I just think that Rajon Rondo really needs somebody who can get him to play and to perform well and try to develop some type of management of his personality. He's very moody. He has to have it his way or no way, and you can't operate like that. Basketball is a team game.
Phil and Pat haven't had to deal with Sybil. I'm going to knock you out. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering, over the competition. I'm towering, wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out. Huh. Mama said knock you out. Huh. We are not talking about Bernard Hopkins versus Oscar de la Hoya, Roy Jones Jr. versus Virgil Hill, or George Foreman versus Michael Moore. We are talking about the knockout punch the NFL landed on Greg Hardy by giving him a 10-game suspension for actions that damaged the integrity of the league. Greg Hardy was convicted on several domestic violence charges because the incident occurred in a state with automatic appeal. Somehow he pulled a trick that would have made Houdini proud by suddenly having the victim go AWOL, presumably after money was exchanged. Apparently he is appealing the ruling. Would he be better served by taking the suspension like a man, then coming back just in time to help the Cowboys get back into the playoffs fresh and ready? Johnny Cochran, Perry Mason, and Judge Joe Brown, I ask you, what you saying? Well, first off, there's been some debate that the NFL overreacted. And it's hard for me to say they overreacted when he got paid for a whole year and didn't play. He got paid. He still got his money. So I don't feel any sympathy for that. The second thing is that he did get convicted. He was not innocent. He was not the victim. The young lady who was petite, who was thrown down on top of a couch with assault weapons, who was in the bathroom, hand slammed down, she was the victim. There is a time when somebody needs to step up and say, look, man, you did the thing. Don't play the game of, we always automatically appeal. Step up, say, look, you know what? Let me just take the punishment. Let me be quiet, and I will rest, heal up my body, work out, and then when I come back, I'll make all my points on the field. Now, Greg Hardy has already got into an altercation in off-season workouts with another player. Already. He ain't been in a he ain't even had the star stitched on yet. And he already. And if you really think he was gonna stay out of trouble in Dallas with all that, he was in a small market and got in trouble. Dallas? I'll just say that the lawyers and the ladies are licking their chops. First lady.
Well, you're absolutely correct. He was convicted. He had a bench trial. The judge convicted him because obviously there was evidence. The young lady testified, and he was not the victim. But as normal, the union will advise their players to appeal the suspension. And hopefully the NFL will not, provide less games for him because he deserves the 10 games. And really, he's, like you said, he should just take the 10 games like a man. He's lucky he wasn't suspended the entire season. When you're found guilty of that, something like that, you should be suspended the entire season. So, the thing is, he violated the NFL Code of Conduct. And that's the reason why I hope the NFL will stay firm and the arbitrator will not upheld this conviction for him. Hardy really should just move on because hopefully, if he does go through the appeal, it really could be detrimental to the Cowboys because sometimes they may not decide right away regarding this appeal. And it's better to begin the beginning of the season on suspension than to do it at the end of the season. Because if you're at the end of the season, that's going to hurt the Dallas Cowboys. So, really, I'm quite sure the Cowboys would have preferred him just to go ahead and take the suspension. So he would be ready for the end of the season. He got, 17 games. He would have had 7 games to get ready for the playoffs. So hopefully Grant Hardy, he just will lose his appeal. It's a shame. These players, they continue to have these type of issues, and they want you to feel like that they're the victim. I'm going to appeal this.
Like I said, here you are. You got paid for a whole year where you didn't play, basically. So you got your money. And also, I do agree with you, First Lady, that, look, you're going to come back toward the end of the season, and for the Cowboys, except for last year, the end of the season is where they've been bitten behind. So to have someone of his skills come in at that time to help that defense out might be giving them an edge. But they're waving the flags. First Lady, please take us to break.
The first 3 listeners to email us or send a shout-out why the boxers are paired together will receive a $25 gift card from our friends at sportsacademy.com. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from the Dread, on the first part of shout-out.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code FREE61 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out AdamandEve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code FREE61. That's FREE61 at AdamandEve.com.
The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from the Dread.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining stars. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. This morning we have The Dread out of Chicago, Illinois, with their album Meet Me at the Sun. From the website, inspired by hip-hop, rock, and skateboarding culture, The Dread creates music based upon their hybrid lifestyle, mixing East Coast hip-hop with rock and reggae. I can't wait to hear. Let's hear Nana.
Give me something, I can serve it up. I probably know a couple Billy Jeans. Let me pray up to the Holy Ghost, cause only He'll know what I see. Multi-talented, I'm Renaissance. Making search to say we win it, dog. Tony Hawk, Tomahawk, we chop it down, and in the love. I can't wait to hear it. Get in my vehicle, making an appearance. Witnessing me as I'm leaving the scene. They seen us en route, fixing the mirror, but on the real. This is a mission, I know what they thinking I'm probably tripping. I'm not tripping no bullshit, and please don't give me a reason. Wearing something that looks murderous, and it ain't even close to Halloween. Let me spray it with this overdose of soul food, collard greens. Follow nothing, I'm a renegade. License plate, say it, win it all. Campaign, champagne, celebrating, so we hit the mall. Now look what today is. I tell you what's new, pick up the latest. See all the time I've been picturing scenes and seen it enough that I can create it. Look on the real, this is a mission. I know what they thinking I'm probably tripping. I'm not tripping on bullshit, and please don't give me a reason. I'm probably tripping. I'm not tripping on bullshit, and please don't give me a reason. And please don't give me a reason. Talent show, I be showing off, just like the cover of a magazine. I ain't saying we the only ones, just the only ones I can guarantee. That's the demo, let me demonstrate, so the congregation know the protocol. Content, the concept, we're wildin' out, saying fuck it all. Ain't looking for favors, to tell you the truth, I simply stated. Making the point is like painting the scene. I've seen it before, but now that I faded. Look on the real, this is the mission. I know what they thinking I'm probably tripping. I'm not tripping on bullshit, and please don't give me a reason. I'm not tripping on bullshit, and please don't give me a reason.
Is this track getting a shout out, or is it we're going to hit that mute button? Ronnie B, I want to start it off. I really like the track, and one of the main reasons why I like the track was because very unusual genre. I've never really heard where heavy metal and hip hop is mixed together. This is what Na 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 is about. So I'm going to give it definitely a shout out. What did you think about the track?
Well, First Lady, obviously you're showing that you're a youngin'. If that's the first time you've heard that mix, because Run DMC
no,
and the Fat Boys used to mix rock with rap all the time.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah, you know, and that's what it kind of reminded me of when run. But I because actually I thought that they could have had a hip hop, just a hip hop track. Would have sounded good. So, but get rocker anyway. So, I'm giving the boys a shout out. I think they did pretty good there. So they got a shout out on me. I like that they were being them, and that was really original.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, Run MDC, they did rock. But it just, to me, it was rock, but that was like heavy metal to me. So that's what I was coming.
Yeah. I thought they were on the edge. They were right on that edge where they didn't give you so much heavy metal where if you weren't a metalhead, you couldn't get into it.
Right.
You know, they were right on that edge, I think. So I give them a shout out. You know, they had a little jam. I could see the folks in the clubs. You know, in surfing clubs, you know, having a couple of drinks and you know,
banging that head up and down. Okay,
I can see them taking a couple of little. A couple of them would have a few little shots there, boy.
All right, we will hear another performance from the Dread on part 2 of Shout Out. Is that the sound of my favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
Time for Flip It, where hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. There is a huge perception in the world of sports that it does not matter what you do as long as you have talent and skills. Everything short of murder, with the exception of Aaron Hernandez, should be overlooked. Unfortunately, because a few professional players committed acts that were disgusting and vile, their sins are visited upon the entire world of sports. Mr. Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, has approved a role for Pete Rose. That's right, Pete Rose. He, with the lifetime ban from baseball, to have a role in this year's All-Star game. Wow. Is this a sign that maybe, just maybe, the new commission is not only thinking about reinstating Rose, but is leaning that way? We asked the panel to defend. Pete Rose has been arrogant when discussing his gambling that led to his suspension. All things aside, he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. He did the crime, showed no remorse, and because he's old and it's been a long time, he should finally be left off the hook? Wrong message, especially during these times. Sorry, Charlie, no Hall of Fame for you. You know, First Lady, I looked at this long and hard, and I'm a forgiving person. I'm like, I give people a second chance. I'm in that league of doing that. But I'm looking at kids coming up. I'm looking at young athletes and just the history of the, as they say, sports, and especially this day and age where people are getting paid big money, where the spotlight is out there. And I have to say, sorry, Charlie. No harm. You commit. What is a cardinal sin if it's not a cardinal sin? You know what is a you commit the one thing in baseball that's absolute. The reason why there is a commissioner, there would be no commissioner if this one thing hadn't happened, which is gambling, betting on the game. And you did the one thing that is the absolute sin of the sports world, which is betting on your sport. Now, maybe, just maybe, if it had been if he had been less arrogant, less dismissive, and more contrite, maybe I would feel forgiveness is in order. But now that he's got his Skechers commercials, and Pete Rose has made, the people would be surprised. Pete Rose has made money. He's probably made more money being an outcast than if they had originally put him in. Mm-hmm. Because being an outcast, he's made more money, had more spotlight on him than, I'm looking at all the other Hall of Famers. You don't hear nothing about him, but you hear about the guy who didn't get in. So I'm going, he has racked up, got him a young thing, and his old butt now wants the commission to let him know. And I'm looking at the commission, and I'm going, yeah, I get that you weren't from that era, but what does it say coming up that eventually, if you hang around long enough, yes, the talent skill record, and yes, I get that he did it after he became a manager, not while he was playing on the field. To me, that actually makes it worse. So we're going to hear the defense from the First Lady.
Pete Rose, Ronnie B, is one of the greatest players ever to play, but his transgression of gambling on the baseball was far too detrimental to the integrity of the baseball image. It's been many years, but, the Major League Baseball image is more important. And Pete Rose really hasn't shown any remorse or warrant forgiveness. Let's face it, he lied for several years that he didn't gamble on baseball. And then finally he admitted he gambled on baseball, as you said, to make money. He sold his book. He's still working with the casinos. He just recently signed a multi-year agreement to sell his signatures at the casino. And as you indicated, Ronnie B, he made the Skechers commercial. That's really making a joke about not being allowed in the Hall of Fame. So as far as I'm concerned, Charlie Hustle is still hustling baseball the wrong way. And he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, panel.
Continues to hustle.
All right, panel. Well, it's time to flip it. We asked the panel to defend Pete Rose is an old man who was a great baseball player who made a terrible mistake after he retired as a player. As a nation, it is our nature to forgive and give out second chances. Time to let Charlie Hustle into the Hall of Fame. Considering the fact that there are Hall of Fame players who are in the Hall of Fame who, I'll put it like this, who actually committed crimes. Now, they haven't been kicked out of the Hall of Fame. They're still in. And the Hall of Fame is not about choir boys. The Major League Baseball Hall of Fame is about stats and numbers, more so than any other Hall of Fame. In football, you have great players who, they may only played a couple of years, so they didn't set, quote, particular records. Gale Sayers did not set the all-time leading rusher record, but he was a great player. And for the time he played and due to injury was taken out the game. So he got to be voted in. But this ain't the NFL. This is Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball is more about statistics than any other sport. And Charlie Hustle, he flat out has the numbers. Now, I don't say that Barry Bonds should have an asterisk because of the steroid era, but I do say he will get in. And, maybe as a slight, they may make him wait a year, but I really go, the man got the stats, put him in. Pete Rose has had the time. He's not been allowed in, and he should not have been. But now it is a new day, and baseball actually does need a little lift. Possibly this could be a good PR move by the league to get him in, get the conversation around baseball, even if it's a debatable conversation, to kind of get some more shine, because the NFL is every day. So let Charlie Hustle into the Hall of Fame. First Lady, defend.
You have Ryan Braun, Alex Rodriguez, and the 46 other baseball players suspended for steroid use. They all received a second chance. Why shouldn't Pete Rose? To me, the steroid use actions are far more detrimental to the integrity of baseball than betting on your team to win. Now, that's all. He did do wrong. Don't get me wrong. Betting on sports is not right, especially if you're betting on your own team to win. But to me, the steroid users impacted the actual game. Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because he was the best hitter. He was the player with the most hits. I mean, as you said, Ronnie B., it's all about the stats. It's not about your character. And as you indicated, not everybody in the Hall of Fame has a squeaky clean character and has never been in trouble before. So, Rose deserves to be in. And we are a nation of forgiving people. And obviously the Major League Baseball league is a forgiving league because they forgave all of those steroid users. So if you're going to have to forgive the steroid users, you're going to have to forgive Pete Rose for gambling on baseball. It's been many, many years. So let's let it go and let him back in and let him have a chance to get into the Hall of Fame. For all the naysayers, if Charlie Hustle doesn't deserve a second chance, then should you deserve a second chance when you make a mistake in life? Let Charlie Hustle into the Hall of Fame.
Don't have him sitting outside on that tuna can. First Lady, they're waving the flags. Take us to break.
Stay tuned up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friends on Flip It Part 2.
Free Mr. Vaughn.
Credit card debt was kicking my butt. Filing for bankruptcy was not for me. I spoke with those debt consolidation people who only wanted me to keep the debt I had for what seemed like a century. A friend said, "Your debt destroyed." I said, "What?" They said, "Your debt destroyed." They said, "Contact Sharon at Your Debt Destroyed and let her team of experts eliminate your debt while building up your credit worthiness." I contacted Sharon, and she put her team to work to destroy my debt with a plan that was easy to follow and gave me and my family peace of mind. Don't consolidate your debt, eliminate your debt. Contact Sharon at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call her at 888-431-2829, extension 2.
Welcome back. You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. It's time for the funnies. Ronnie B., over to you.
First Lady, guess what? We have our 14th Need to Grow story of 2015.
The list is growing.
Out of La Center, Washington, a high school student who wore a fake bomb to ask a girl to prom had the promposal blew up in his face when he was suspended from school. Ibrahim Ahmad, 18, was suspended for 5 days from La Center High School after he donned a paintball vest loaded with fake explosives, paper tubes attached to red wires, and stood up in the school's cafeteria with a sign reading, "I know it's a little late, but I'm kind of the bomb. Playa, will you be my date to prom?" Ahmad said his intended date, Relia Wolf, accepted his promposal, but he was soon told by administrator that he was being suspended for 5 days and would not be allowed to attend the dance. Quote, "I'm Middle Eastern, and I thought the bomb was kind of funny and clever. I wasn't wearing the vest for more than like 20 seconds. I asked her, took a picture, took it off, and then the school got upset. It didn't even look like a bomb." A cell phone video of the promposal shows students appeared amused by the display, but Superintendent Mark Mansell said Ahmad needed to be punished for disrupting the learning environment. Quote, "To me, it's just blatant disrespect. The student knew that the principal wouldn't support this, and he went ahead and did it anyway." Ahmad said he believes administrators overreacted and his race may have influenced their decision. "It was really unfair, and it's kind of felt racist," Ahmad said. "If anyone else did that, I feel like no one else would have gotten in trouble for it." Ahmad said he and Wolf will likely go out on a dinner date in lieu of the dance. Ahmad, you are a need to grow. You are a need to grow.
I think
Fortunately, you're 18.
Yeah. But he said it may have been racial, but that's more the reason why he should not have worn that bomb on his chest. Because he was Middle Eastern. I mean, what did he expect?
Need to grow.
Wow.
But Ahmad, let me tell you, let me hip you, Ahmad. It was not racist because believe me, if you had been black, you would have been shot.
That's not funny, but Ronnie B, you are right on point with that.
Right. So
you right about that, Ronnie.
Yeah, don't be trying to play the race card. No, no. You just go ahead and get your need to grow card.
That's right.
And have a good dinner. Gosh darn, if the water is splashing on you, it must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It Part 2, where our host defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing group. Scott Brooks has been fired by Oklahoma, and the management says they did not consult any of the players. Kevin Durant. The superstar says he's good with the decision and will be ready to carry on. Panel defend. Kevin Durant is saying the classy things, but the reality is he really liked Brooks. Bad move, OKC. Unless you win a championship, Kevin Durant is out of here. First Lady defend.
The OKC management didn't give Scott Brooks another year to work with their new and improved lineup. The team was decimated by injuries. Kevin Durant, he was injured. Westbrook was injured, and Ibaka was injured. So OKC management didn't ask Kevin Durant for their opinion regarding firing Scott Brooks. To win a championship, to keep Kevin Durant, OKC, they better think long and hard who their next coach will be. Matter of fact, they need to make sure they consult Kevin Durant about the next coach, because engaging KD will show that he is their superstar and management values his opinion. Because, Ronnie B., if they do not ask KD, trust me, Kevin Durant will bolt out of Oklahoma City faster than the sound of thunder.
All right. Well, First Lady, OKC, bad move. It is not Scott Brooks' fault that you let James Harden get away. He wasn't the person who made that decision. That was on you guys. And you here's a season where, as you said, First Lady, everybody was hobbled, injured. And if you really look at, here's Scott Brooks. Scott Brooks has been able to keep Kevin Durant and Westbrook playing together when Westbrook, Westbrook got some fire. And for him not to be the number one person on the team, I have to, really commend Brooks for being able to talk about dealing with some personality. This man can play. This man was in contention to be the MVP. And to have him play a second role, even if it is to Kevin Durant, okay, I think that, I think that they really, really didn't show their appreciation for Brooks. And you are right, First Lady. They better look long and hard who they get as the replacement and let Durant and Brooks and Westbrook have some input to who they're playing with. Because if they come up short next year on a championship or not making it to the finals, you're going to see Durant and Westbrook out of OKC as soon as they can move. I'll just say lightning fast. Now, listeners, you know that we have to flip the script because this is Flip It. Panel defend. Kevin Durant is saying the right things because Kevin knows Scott is lovable, but he can't outcoach any of the top coaches in the West. Good move by OKC to take a gamble. Someone else will get them over the hump, a la Phil Jackson after Doug Collins. First Lady defend.
OKC Thunder team is loaded with young talent. You got Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Enes Kanter, and Dion Waiters. They were all first-round draft picks. So OKC management, they recognized that Scott Brooks had come to the end of the line with coaching this team. This team should be a top contender next year, and they really should come out the West and go into the finals if they have the right coach. And they definitely have to bring in the right coach, and that right coach can change their fortune. Let's look at Phil Jackson. He took over the Lakers from Dale Harris and Kurt Rambis, and he won a championship the next year. The same situation happened when Larry Brown took over for the Pistons from Rick Carlisle. They won a championship in 2000. So bringing in that right coach can change OKC Thunder fortune, and they can end up in the championship. But they just got to make sure that they get the right coach. And I have a feeling Kevin Durant will definitely be involved with choosing the right coach.
First Lady, I couldn't agree more. Great analogies. And sometimes you just got to get a fresh mind in there. I think Scott Brooks did a great job as a coach. Just does not have, just can't compete with with that brain trust in the West of the top teams, like San Antonio, the Warriors, I dare say the Clippers, and just can't get them over the hump. I wish him well, and I think the next team he goes to, he will do well. But OKC needs a fresh mind to come in and one that'll do the players good because it'll take them in a new direction, and also depending on the coach they bring in, this could be what it takes to keep Kevin Durant around and keep Westbrook around, so that maybe if not next year, if they fall short, they can see that, hey, we're a year away from being in the finals and winning a championship. So OKC, and I noticed that OKC did not consult the players. So I think management has a plan, and they're willing to say, look, we're going to do what it takes to get the right person in here because we got the players. We got the players. Well, that's the end of Flip It for this week. First Lady, please take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we will have another performance from The Dread on Shout Out. Please stay tuned.
Another day, another restless night, crying myself to sleep. Another day of relentless phone calls from credit card companies demanding payment. Another day wondering if filing bankruptcy or getting one of those debt consolidation loans is the only way to go. A friend said, "Stop crying. Just call Sharon, the debt destroyer." Sharon and her team of experts work hard to help you eliminate your credit card debt and get you and your credit back on track. No bankruptcy, no loans, your credit card debt eliminated. I called Sharon and her team of experts went right to work with a plan that made sense. I am sleeping peacefully knowing my credit card debt is being destroyed and my credit is getting back on track. Have your credit card debt destroyed and get a good night's sleep? Contact Sharon, the Debt Destroyer, at yourdebtdestroyed.com or call 888-431-2829, extension 2.
You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the First Lady and the crew.
We have another performance from The Dread. Let's hear the title track, Grateful Dead.
Something like a band, how we rock like this. Always them, call it loud on the top. How we rock like this. Always them, call it loud on the top. Just that thing, go get the regime. Just a rage against the machine. Look right there, look Donna. What they want Nirvana. What you simply don't know. When it's for my crew, go 8 gorillas. 40 ounce, 2 sip with the line. Yes, that feeling is so sublime. Let's raise the heat, radio down. That's when I'm getting that radio hand. Let it play all day. It's a cool day in the A-Roll nation. I'm trying to live. Guns and roses and acting slash. Coochie clubs to sell 40 cash. You know the bad brains and that's what's sad. That's what makes the coach in the class. Nowadays it is hit the nerves. Gold is still took to get the fame. Parliaments, they be burning up. B-Funk is how you hit the game. Red hot, chili peppers. Green Day in the Yo Wilco. On Stone, Papa was. Led Zeppelin, got it done love. Like this, always them, call it down. Like this, always them, call it down. Recognized places, autographs of all the oasis. On tour, so we breaking bread. All big faces, talking heads. Any lane roll, cause the chick is cute. Band-Aids love trying to fix the group. Not a hairband, but we're known to jam, right? Like whalers, like roots. 24/7 to stay on the grind. The band should be called one day at a time. Usually call when they need a fix. The experience it'll blow your mind. Plain white tee when I'm in the zone. My man swag like Joe Ramone. Not MC5, just one MC. With a sex pistol and the microphone. Like, girl, come on, call me Buzz. This daddy kiss with them flaming lips. You start me up, my Courtney Love. In excess, you're an illegal drug. All I want is somewhere to fish. Be number one like Aerosmith. Tour like the Grateful Dead. Open up, it's the Grateful Dread. Something like a band, how we rock like this. Always them, call it loud. How we rock like this. Always them, call it loud.
up, B?
What up, though, man? Let's do this, man. Let's go.
Yeah. I feel you. Hold up. Who are these guys?
Oh, that's my theme music. Every good hero should have them.
That was Grateful Dead. All right, is this track getting a shout out or hitting the mute button? Ronnie B? All right, Ronnie B. Didn't hear. Well, let me give you my opinion about Grateful Dead. I thought the rapping was excellent on the track. And for some reason, I just didn't like the music. The music was kind of dreadful there. So I really don't know if I'm going to probably give it a yo. I'm going to get a yo for the track as far as the rapping, but the music was kind of dreadful. Ronnie B., what do you think about the track?
Well, I'm pretty much with you, First Lady. I like that they stayed in their lane. This, I guess, after hearing the last track, this track was a little bit of a letdown. So I'm going to give them a yo. I'm going to give them a yo.
All right, well, that's the end of shout out. If you like what you heard from The Dread, hit them up at thedread.net. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. It is time for the picks. So let's just recap and go over some scoring from approximately 2 weeks ago. Neither one of us really did well. I had a negative 90 points, whereas DizzieMac had a negative 150 points, and Joe, he had a negative 240 points. That was the week that we picked the wrong NCAA champion. Because it was a negative 175 points if you missed that. And we didn't pick the Duke. So anyway, so this is where the current score stands. I have 505 points. DizzieMac has 50 points. And Joe has 265 points. Now, last week we had some questions, but those questions were based upon the end of the series. So the series haven't ended, but however, it's going to end quickly on some of these teams because teams are down 3-0. Really, very disappointed in several of the teams that I thought was going to give a better showing. So let's get to this week's picks. We continue our NBA youth picks, looking to see which one of our panelists will be the champion of the hoops. James Harden will score at least 35 points in one game this week. 40 points for the correct answer, a minus 30 for the incorrect answer. All right, Roddy B., what was DizzieMac's choice?
Okay, actually, DizzieMac didn't bring in didn't send in his picks, but we're going to, for him and Joe, they're both going to go with Harden will score at least 35 points in one game.
In one game this week. Okay. I'm going to also say that he will score 35 points in one game this week. And that probably will be also including the next series. Because like I said, he's 3-0, so they're going to really wrap it up with the Mavs. He was balling. He balled last night. He had, 40-something points?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So
then I think he had 34 points in a previous game, so he out there.
All right, let's get to the next pick. Derrick Rose will have at least one double-double during next week. Are we talking about not this week, the following week? I guess so. That's what the producer said. Roddy B., what do you have for Joe and DizzieMac?
Okay, just to clarify, that include for our week until Saturday of next week. So Derrick Rose will have a double-double.
Well, I said that Derrick Rose will have a double-double in the series, and he's almost come close. He's definitely had the points. He's just not making it with the assists. As a matter of fact, the last game, he was 2 assists shy of having a double-double. So I'm going to say he will have a double-double. LeBron James will have more turnovers than any other player during next week. Roddy B, I'm going to go to you for DizzieMac and Joe.
No. There will be another player who will have more turnovers than LeBron.
Okay. I'm going to say LeBron will have more turnovers than any other player. And we're talking about any other player who's left in the playoffs. So I'm going to say he will because LeBron has the ball a lot, and sometimes he does turn the ball over a lot. Tim Duncan will score less than 12 points in at least one game this week. 50 points for the correct answer, 100 points for the incorrect. Less than 12 points, I will say no. What do you think for Rodney, for DizzieMac and Joe?
DizzieMac says yes, he will score less than 12 points in at least one game this week. And Joe says no.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be able to see where we're going to be with our scores at the end of next week, definitely.
First Lady, we got a special bonus.
Okay.
And 50 points if you're correct, 100 points incorrect. At least 2 teams will sweep during this first round.
Will sweep?
At least 2 teams will sweep during this first round.
I'm going to say no. What do you have for Joe and DizzieMac?
DizzieMac says yes. Joe says no.
Okay. Joe's with me. I think some of these teams, these 3-0 teams, they're going to come back at least and win one game. Because they definitely got to put their pride on the line. Before we go, it's time to find out what we missed this week. Ronnie B., what did you miss this week?
Bruce Jenner confirming that he is a woman.
He knew all of his life that he was
Well.
That's what he said from a young child. I saw the interview. He said from a young child, he knew all his life that he wanted to be a woman. But he is not gay. And he made that clarification. He loves women. Okay, what did I miss last week? I missed most of the NBA games. I don't know what happened to me. I was so busy with a lot of things last week, so I did miss a lot of games. I missed LeBron's game, and I missed most of the NBA games. So that's what I missed.
Oh man, it was some exciting ones, First
Lady.
You got to get your sports back on. Some of them games were double overtimes, and we got to get you back.
I got to get back on track here. Anyway, this has been Cheryl Smith, and you have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports.